What's going on, guys? Pegasus from the Wise Guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you sub, make sure you hit that like button. This time, guys, we're doing a deck profile on Drytron. I've been playing a lot of Drytron at locals. I feel like doing like one every time that like a local happens and you get like top 4, doesn't matter at all. And I'm not doing the online stuff, like I can't take the remote duel stuff. You've seen what's happened. And then the dueling book stuff, if it's not really Dragon Rider, I'm not really gonna play in it. But I have been testing a lot online. We got some other videos coming up. But with that being said, just doing the profile, I think I got a top 4. I know I didn't get first. I think I got second or third, I don't remember. It was 33 players, I believe, last Friday. But Drytron stuff, you don't have to theorize Alpha and Zeta. But the monster, he grabs ritual monsters, grabs ritual spell. Gamma grabs back, special summons a monster from the grave. That's a Drytron, and then Delta draws. So that's how you can remember. Again, if you forgot, D to draw, G to grab, and then the Zeta grabs the ritual spell, as I said before. I like that number. I believe that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10 is probably the standard. I like 11. It's just player preference. I feel like you have to at least play 10, and that's like the minimum. There's no way in the world I wouldn't play that. Moving on, I played a different build that just focused on being as consistent as possible without playing the Dragoon package or the ultimateness or the, it was just me focusing on doing one thing at one time. And this one, I wanted to play Preparation of Rites and not play with Prosperity and not play with Dragoon. I just wanted to see what the deck does inherently. And it did pretty well. Went X1, doesn't matter, 4-1. Have to play it. Do not have to play it at all. Doesn't actually matter, but it does kind of like cheeseball you every now and again for time or protecting yourself after passing turn. There's just certain times it comes up. The Draconids, you don't have to play it even in this build without Dragoon. You don't have to play it, but I would highly recommend it. If you're not playing Dragoon, you should have one of the big outs, 2 massive hand traps, and this is the other one usually. If you're not playing Dragoon in your deck, don't feel like if you're playing a Dragoon version, you want to play this. Drakage, as they call it. As far as these 3 though, I to 10, sometimes you can even justify not playing I to 10 just because most of the time the combo only involves these 2 to play around Nibiru most of the time. And that's all for the rituals. And then the cards that everybody already knows, Diviner and Orange Light and the Evas. I want to play maybe the green one or the purple one every now and again just to be able to resolve Orange Light 3 times. Shout out to the OT. But at the end of the day, it's just like it has to be streamlined, and that's why in this portion it's the really interesting part, because in theory it's been coming up a lot, and it's just a lot of the close friends, the close homies that we play test with a lot. We all talk about this a lot, and I'll explain what the hell I'm talking about in a second. So I was watching Shunping, I forget the name of his page, but he's a really good player, and it's just dope to watch him kind of theorize stuff. But he was justifying not playing 3 of these, which I can understand because it does turn into a brick, in my opinion, and his opinion, and I was agreeing with it. Where you could just draw multiples of these, and then like that's bad, and that's like blank in your hand, right? And then the Nova, kind of would be the same thing, but there's no way in hell you don't play 3 of these. And then the talents, I want to have something to answer hand traps all the time because there's so many hand traps in people's deck. It's actually ridiculous, but it's also limited to 1 per turn. Activate 1 per turn, like all of them are. And then the Preparation of Rites, you can activate as many as you want to. This was just my version that I was playing this time and not playing Prosperity. But clearly, I think I would want to play different versions. I'm gonna be playing different versions of this all the time, but you can put this in, take some of these out, and then kind of mess around with it from there. And then I don't ever play 2 of the ritual spell. I never understand when people say that, because if you see this in Zeta, it's awful. And then the guide cards that you guys already know about. And that's the main deck. the Drytrons, the fairies, the spells that all go in one direction. It's all very, very consistent. It's just sometimes Drytron, some of the names and how they run into each other can be inconsistent. Getting into the side deck specifically, you know, you see the tokens. Shout out to the tokens. Shout out to my Umbreon right there. But as far as some of the cards, you got 3 Nibiru, 3 Droll for hand traps. This could be Ghost Bell. This could be Psycho Reader, but it's only in like if it's a big event. This is like my locals because there's a lot of combo decks and like Psycho Reader's too specific. But in a bigger event where I knew that I would play a lot of Drytron, and you just switch that. It's very easy to do. Droll, I feel like you should just naturally have it in your side deck right now anyway. Droplet, same way. Twin Twister, same way for the back row, and then evenly matched because nobody's playing an answer to it still. And then getting into the extra deck, and pardon the one sleeve, I lost the border one for these, which is sadness because I gotta go order them again. Chaos Ruler, Black Rose, and Arclight. I love all 3 of them, and they all come up. This is main phase 1 Zeus. This card is insane as you know it. I wish there was space for 2, and it probably is by cutting one of these, but this is a great out just to have if your diviner gets stopped, and sometimes there's an Idleton or a Benton on the field, or some other hodgepodge kind of mix match, you know, whatever. And even sometimes with the diviner, if it gets stopped, you can end on this with 2 Drytrons. If their deck would specifically lose to that. That doesn't come up hardly ever, but this comes up a lot, and this comes up a lot because diviner playing into a board with the Drytron, sending the Arclight or the Antis, it's quick, and it helps you to play into a board and then wipe your opponent completely out. As far as some of the other stuff, you guys know the usual suspects with these Link monsters. I like Borsword of Access, Gold Talker in this deck. It's just my preference. And then last but not least, this is what I'm playing for the Exceeds and the Fusion. Yeah, again, pardon the border on the outside, but really like how my extra deck is. The only thing is sometimes I want to play 2 of this. Other than that, I really feel like it's consistently what I want it to be. And then also this can be the Link 5 Underworld Goddess that you saw in a video the other day. And that is all I got to say about that.